Welcome back to another episode of Side Hustle Inspiration. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a good while since I've made another video. I've been encountering some challenges. I've been doing a weight loss transformation. Just recently had to visit a dentist and just struggling with some sleep issues. But nevertheless, I'm glad to be back with another video. Today, I want to talk about something that will benefit people in the quote-unquote art business. I want to help you to get your life back financially by earning potential passive income on the internet, doing something from your pastime that you love doing, which is better known as graffiti. Now, growing up in Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was in the hood, not the projects. I was in a middle-class neighborhood, but I got a grand opportunity to see a lot of graffiti from childhood. And one of the most famous graffiti writers in Flatbush, Brooklyn was a cat from my era, from the early 90s. They call him Dinker. Dinker was the founder of a crew in Flatbush, Brooklyn called P.B.S, Paying Back Society. One of the members from P.B.S, and I'm going to just give his P.B.S name, they call him Knox from 35th Street. Now, if you know Knox from P.B.S from 35th Street, then you know who exactly I'm talking about. Well, Knox and I grew up together in Flatbush, and although Knox wasn't a graffiti writer, he was in that crew where Dinker was the head or the founder or whatever you want to call it. Graffiti was a favorite pastime of many writers in New York City and throughout the United States of America, and graffiti also evolved and changed the history of human thought in Germany, Russia, and other countries. But one thing these graffiti writers who were so dedicated to showcasing their art throughout New York City encountered was a lot of them got bagged by the NYPD and they caught criminal records, and most of them did prison time. The end result of these graffiti writers doing what they love to do as a teenage and an adult profession and suffering the consequence of receiving a prison sentence, a criminal record, and a fine, which I'm not a graffiti writer. No, I've never served time in prison. But they now suffer a setback today, decades later, after their potential criminal conviction, which is an employment instability, the inability to get a decent paying job, the inability to not only just get a good paying job, but to keep a job and move up in the company. Some of them were able to rebound and get decent paying jobs and move up. But this is for the graffiti writers that were unable to get a good paying job, that are still suffering from things that they maybe did 10, 20, 30 years ago. This is to help you get your life back financially. Now, though I no longer live in New York City, this is also for people throughout the United States. And even if you have never been to prison, you don't have a criminal conviction or nothing like that, this is still for you. If you love doing graffiti, know it was an illegal profession, which it still is today, and you're looking to earn passive income from doing what you love to do from the past, keep watching this video. I'm going to tell y'all a true story. Back in the mid-1990s, I moved out of New York, and I moved to Wilmington. I moved in to stay with my grandfather, and we lived on North Market Street, across the street from the Saab dealership. And my zone high school at the time was Brandywine High School. Yes, Brandywine High School. Now, coming from New York City and moving to Wilmington and moving in to live with my grandfather while my mother was retiring from the city of New York, as a 35-year veteran of the Agency for Child Development, was a humongous change, not just in my mindset. It was also a change in my environment. I got to not only embrace the change of environment, but the change in different people, their mindsets, and how people from Wilmington and other parts of the surrounding city think. Now, at first it was a turbulent experience because when coming straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn, I was a slim kid, maybe about between 155 and 160 pounds. I was wearing Guess Polo and Tommy Hilfiger, and I had gold teeth, you know what I'm saying? I had a little part going all the way to the back of my head. I had a little Flatbush Brooklyn fade, you know what I'm saying? I was talking, yo son, what's the deal, son? But I grew up from all of that. But at the time when I was attending Brandywine High School, I got to embrace a couple of people, and to this day I do remember. I'm not going to say no real names, but this is a story. I was friends, and partially I just reconnected with the guy, a cat from Philadelphia, and he's from Delancey Street. I'm going to say his graffiti name, C.O.D. C.O.D. from Philly. You know who you are. You know who you are, and I'm pretty sure you watch this video. Salute to you, homie. Enough respect. C.O.D. and I met through Brandywine High School. And back in the day, C.O.D. and another guy that I knew from Brandywine High School, we used to call him Crease. Crease from Philly. We call him Crease because he kept the creases in his pants. I mean, he was a real pretty boy. We had this little clique going called P.B.C. It's like this P.B.C. for life, like two L's, like two double L's, like low life. And there was C.O.D. from Philly, Crease from Philly, in which his graffiti name was Riddler, R-I-D-L-A, Vas, V-A-S. And then another short guy from Cali, he used to write the graffiti name Gripe or Grahip. Well, once upon a time in the mid-1990s, a news report came out that because of the popularity of Riddler, Vas, and C.O.D. being literally spray painted everywhere like DinkerPBS from straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn, C.O.D. and Riddler, I believe Riddler also, if my memory serves me right, they both had a bounty on their head. It was a $10,000 reward out for their arrest. Now, being that they had a $10,000 reward out for their arrest, it had me thinking, should I switch up on my friends and turn them in and get the $10,000? Or should I remain loyal as a friend and keep my mouth shut? Well, guess what? I'm a firm believer in snitches get stitches. And I wasn't about to turn my friends over for a measly 10 grand. I mean, $10,000. They're going to look at me and be like, oh, he must be their friend. And then they're going to come up with a reason not to give me the $10,000. So I was telling this story because not only did I remain loyal as a friend, but I would have felt bad after a while if I was to turn them into the state police, because I would have remembered that, and they would have remembered that for the rest of our lives. And that would have probably put me most likely in a certain kind of light, that I'm not a trustworthy friend, I'm a snitch, and I contributed to their downfall during their adulthood, because if I had turned them in, they would have gotten criminal convictions from it. Then I would have felt like I'm the reason, even though what they were doing was wrong. Well, they finally cleaned up their acts and they stopped the graffiti, and no, I didn't turn them in. So C.O.D. from Philly today, he is an art director, and I believe he has his own business with professional art. Now I respect this guy C.O.D greatly from Philly because he had a really likable personality. I remember him to this day, and I just wanted to give you C.O.D from Philly. You know who you are, you know your name. I'll give you a shout out and say enough respect to you. Your boy Shiloh, straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn. They used to call me Shy Liggity back in Brandywine High School, or Shiloh because my real name is Sean. Sean wears a lot of polo. Shiloh. And but I was telling that story because I kept it 100, and that I've also been friends with graffiti writers myself, and I didn't want to snitch on my friends. But anyways, for the people who have suffered criminal convictions, you've been to prison, you served, you did your time, you paid your court costs or your court fines or whatever the case was, you got off the ankle bracelet, and now you're trying to get your life together, but you have a problem keeping a job because of that past record of yours of doing graffiti, whether you were doing graffiti on a New York City subway train, whether you were plastering your tag on electric poles or buildings or whatever the case was, and Pole 9 bagged you, and now you can't get a decent job. This is for you. Now, the internet is a great way for anyone to start a side hustle. This is side hustle inspiration. This is about you, helping you to broaden your mental horizons for the purpose of setting yourself up with a side hustle on the internet and earning passive income. Most graffiti writers kept a notebook, or they took their camera along with them to take videos and pictures of their art pieces, whether you snuck inside of a New York City subway tunnel after midnight and you was like Rainbow from Beach Street.
Do you hear something?
Or Crush Groove or Wild Style, Lee Quinones from Wild Style, and you did your art pieces, you were sneaking and spray painting with that Krylon spray paint on subway train. On the right. Most people took pictures of their stuff while they were in the process of putting up their art on a train or a building or whatever the case was. Now, if you're one of those people that have pictures and videos from your past as an illegitimate, illegal spray painter, because you was doing your 1-2, you knew you was wrong for it, you likely weren't making any money from it, but you did what you wanted to do because that was the spirit that was in you at the time. If you have videos and pictures of your past pieces, one of the best ways of starting a graffiti-based side hustle is setting yourself up, starting your own self-hosted WordPress blog. If you have no clue what a blog is, a blog is short for a weblog. It's a public online diary of your personal thoughts, your ideas, your videos, your images, whatever you want to put in a blog. That is your unique standalone voice on the internet. Blogging is a great way. It is the simplest form of getting started online at a very small cost. Does it cost money to get started online with a self-hosted blog? Yes. No million dollar or multi-million dollar business has been started without fronting up some kind of money. Even the most profitable YouTubers today, they started with a camera phone. A camera phone costs anywhere from $29.99 to maybe $1,200 or $1,500. There is an investment involved. But the beauty of starting your own self-hosted WordPress blog and with your own domain name combined is you are starting up potentially for less than $100 online. Your own domain name, which is your www.com address, along with a self-hosted WordPress blog on your own web hosting package, allows you your own unique voice. In other words, you cannot create a 5 or 6 figure monthly blogging business using Tumblr or LiveJournal or 6apart or Typepad, which is 6apart, or blogspot.com, owned by Google. You will not earn $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 monthly using those type of blogs, because one thing they don't tell you is once you create and publish your content on their blogging platforms, they literally own your content. Even if you copy and paste it into a Google Docs document or Microsoft Word document and delete the blog post, they still have a soft version saved on their server. So they can originally say they own your content, despite the fact that you have written it of your own words and voice and published it. They own your content. Now, the downside to publishing on someone else's blogging platform is that if someone hates on you long enough and keeps flagging your blogs, even though you're not publishing anything wrong, they will delete you without notice. That is the downside to not having your own self-hosted WordPress blog. If you have a lot of your past graffiti work saved in a notebook, or you have videos and a lot of pictures and content, you are in for a treat. Now, one thing you probably don't know about blogging and internet search engines is content is king on the internet. And if you don't have anything else to discuss in your blog other than your past or current graffiti artwork, then blogging is your best way not only to earn passive income, but this can turn out to be a full-time business for you. Now, if you are a past graffiti writer with a criminal conviction and you've served time in prison, you need to pay attention to this video, because this video is going to change the history of your human thought process, and it's going to really give you something to think about. This video is not a game. This is not to make fun of anybody that has a criminal record or that can't get a job or keep a job. Okay, this is really to help you, and this is really free marketing advice that I can charge people hundreds and thousands of dollars for one-on-one sessions. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell you? As I mentioned, and I'm going to keep mentioning this, you need your own domain name and you need your own economy or dedicated web hosting package, so you or your web hosting provider at the link that I recommend above can install WordPress on your server for you. With your own self-hosted WordPress blog as an aspiring graffiti-based blogger, you have 100% administrative control and functionality over the look, the feel, and the back-end functions of your blog. When you have your own self-hosted WordPress blog, you cannot be deleted unless you post a threat to the President of the United States in your blog, or you write threats to anyone threatening to do any kind of harm. That's when your your blog will be seized. The FBI will come and lock you up. Other than that, your blog cannot be deleted, because you are a paying customer, and the purpose of your blog is to showcase your past or current niche-based graffiti artwork. Now that I'm giving you something to think about, here's the deal. Go in your attic, go to your mom's house, go to your people's house, wherever you got your past graffiti artwork stashed at. Go hit your peoples up and get all the vintage stuff out. Then when you get a hold of the goods, whether it is in your mom's basement, her attic, whether it's at your uncle's house or over there with your aunts or cousins, or even in your house or apartment, think about the type of domain name you're going to create. www. It could be your lastname.com, or it could be your fullname.com, or you put a graffiti based keyword in your domain name. Now, if you do that, this helps the search engines better understand what the content of your blog is about. Once you have your domain name and your blog set up, and you have all of your past graffiti content, whether it's videos, pictures, or whatever, drawings or whatnot, you need to now start thinking about the type of blogs you're going to be writing daily. Now, if you're not up to writing every day, you can start out writing every other day. Here's why. Internet search engines like Bing, Google, DuckDuckGo, and Yahoo reward content creators, bloggers, website owners, and YouTube vloggers. They reward content creators based on the consistency of their content production. In other words, if you post content to your blog or your YouTube channel every day, at least once a day, or every other day, or even twice a week starting out, and then you amp it up to 3 or maybe 4 times a week, the search engines will quietly take notice of your consistent content posting pattern, and you will be rewarded with more traffic. Why? Because search engines sell advertisements against search engine listings. In other words, the more you post content to your blog, the more the search engines will notice you, and they will start ranking you higher in natural unpaid search engine results pages. But in order to achieve that, one, you have to be posting content daily, at least 5 days a week, or at least 3 times weekly. If you're not used to writing and you want to get into the slow, consistent mindset of writing, start out by writing 500 words to your blog at least 3 times a week. Be mindful to include pictures of your past graffiti artwork or a YouTube video in the header description of your graffiti niche-based blog. Doing so will attract traffic from YouTube and search engines and keep people on your blog longer. To the search engines, that's called increased site retention. As your site retention rate improves from posting content consistently, and the search engines rewarding you with more traffic, the search engines are going to rank you higher in natural unpaid search engine results pages, and your site retention rate will improve. As a result of your site retention rate improving from people staying on your blog longer and sharing your blog posts without you asking them to do so with their coworkers, family, and friends on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Reddit, and other social platforms, your blog will naturally improve in search engine rankings. Now, here's where the passive income potential comes in. The easiest money you can earn online as a graffiti-based blogger and position yourself to earn passive income for years to come, and yes, making money while you're sleeping, is through Google AdSense. AdSense is the easiest money in the world to be made. Why? Because you, as an AdSense partner, are placing Google ads on your website. Once you're approved as an AdSense publisher, you're not selling anything. In other words, you're not waiting to earn an affiliate commission from someone buying something from the Google ad. You simply make money when the person clicks the ad. That's it. People click Google ads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Are you listening? Now, if you still enjoy the passion of graffiti and you just can't get it off of your mind, you went to prison, you served time, you have multiple criminal convictions, you can't get a job, you can't keep a job. This is your way out. But you know what? It's going to require you got to make changes here. You have to listen. Make changes right here. If you're inconsistent, you're not going to be an online millionaire. And if I'm smiling, I'm lying. I'm not smiling. Consistency increases side hustle millionaire profitability. Let me say this again. Consistency with content marketing, whether you're blogging or making YouTube videos, will increase your side hustle millionaire profitability. That goes for me too, because I've struggled and at times I'm still inconsistent with my content marketing. But I know that making changes here and sticking to the script will help me to achieve more than I can imagine entrepreneurially. You want to be in a certain place in your life where you're financially comfortable. Blogging is the simplest way to get started. You don't need prior experience, and most likely you already have prior experience. You went to prison, you did time, and you have maybe those photos or those videos of your past graffiti pieces. What you need to do is to devise a plan, pull out that stuff, and start talking about each piece individually in a blog post and a YouTube video. When you create your YouTube videos, be mindful to insert links to specific blog posts, not the top header www.myname.com. You want to do www.myname.com/my graffiti piece I did in the middle of the night in the subway tunnel, something like that. See what I'm saying? Because if you include the top, we call it the top level domain in your YouTube video description, then people are going to click that link and then they're just going to see the homepage of your blog. You want to include a link to a specific blog post so that you can drive traffic to that specific blog page. If you include links to specific blog posts in every YouTube video discussing your graffiti, not only are you driving traffic from all the major search engines, but now you have tapped into a reciprocal source of unlimited traffic potential, which is YouTube. It is the world's most famous video search engine. They rank number 2 in the world on Alexa. And let me tell you, posting videos to Facebook is not profitable. No. That's called native video. I'll get into that a little bit later. But you want to focus on your blogging. Get started now. Whether you practice your blog writing in a Microsoft Word document, or what's even better, if you pull up your Google Docs, docs.google.com, and start, practice with your blogging, practice your writing, get your writing game, get your writing speed up to par so that you grandfather in that mindset of writing 500 words. And then you increase the speed. Let me see, I'm going to set a goal today about talking about my past graffiti projects, and I'm going to see how fast I can type 500 words. We're just going to do it in rough draft mode. Never mind perfection and all of that other stuff. You're now programming your mind to see, can I write 500 words in 15 minutes? Can I write 500 words in 30 minutes? If you are not up to typing on your computer, you can use a speech recognition program called Dragon Naturally Speaking. If you don't have Dragon or some type of speech recognition on your computer, you have a speech recognition on your phone, and you can also open a Google Docs document. Using your voice to create content is the Fasted and Flash Gordon way of staying up to par with your blogging. That's the beauty of blogging. Using speech recognition, like your voice, like what I'm doing in this video, to create content. Now using that function with your voice, you can probably do 500 words in about maybe 10 minutes. Because you're doing this, you're practicing in rough draft mode. Once you notice how fast you can produce 500 words, that's going to inspire you to create content often for your blog. The reason why I'm sharing this information with former or current graffiti writers is because I want to give you hope that there's a way to rebound. Hopefully this video will give you something to think about. Blogging is the best way to get started online. You don't need technical skills, you don't need previous experience, you don't need a high school diploma, you don't need a GED, you don't even need a college degree. What you need to do is to change your mindset and to get into consistency. Start learning how to use the speech recognition function on your phone, the little microphone. Tap it. If you don't have Google Docs, download it to your phone. Download Google Docs. Open up a blank document in your phone. Turn on the microphone and start using the speech recognition function so you can use the power of your voice to experiment with creating 500 words, let's say in 15 or 20 minutes. And then once you start getting accustomed to that and including pictures and videos in the top section of your blog posts, and you get used to formatting your videos and your images and then your content underneath, then your mind will slowly and surely start to become accustomed to blogging consistently. Then it'll become a daily thing, whereas, wait a minute, I can't let the day go by and I don't post a blog. So you see, the consistency, the willingness for a mindset change, and blogging about your past or current graffiti-based ventures, along with joining Google AdSense and affiliate networks. If you want to learn more about affiliate marketing, go into Google or your favorite search engine and just punch in how to get started in affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a multi-billion-dollar online marketing industry where advertisers, bloggers, and publishers come together and form online working relationships for the purpose of helping each other to make more money. Advertisers love bloggers. AdSense loves bloggers. YouTube loves consistent content creators. When you get used to creating content consistently, just like this video, this is considered content because now this video is going up on YouTube, or you're probably now watching this YouTube video. This is considered content, but this is video content. When you get used to creating blog content and combining it with video content, the passive income potential is unlimited. Yes, you can bounce back financially. Yes, you can become an online millionaire. Yes, you can potentially make money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes, you can be a millionaire digital nomad, but the choice is yours. There's going to be a lot of changes you need to make on your part. You were a big-time graffiti writer like Leak were known as back in the day, who played Zorro, the graffiti writer in the movie Wildstar. And you have a lot of your past graffiti pieces, then you're pretty much sitting on the gold mine. What you need to do is to get your domain name, get your web hosting package, Get your WordPress blog set up. If you don't know how to do it, ask your web hosting provider at the link provided above to install WordPress on your server for you. Start blogging about your graffiti-based ventures. Be very descriptive in your writing. People love reading feelings and emotions in published works. Spill all your feelings. Okay? The longer you write your blog posts, the longer you make your videos and your video descriptions, the more search engines will reward you with free traffic. Not just in the moment after you hit the publish button and your content gets indexed. We're talking about reciprocal search engine traffic for years and years and years to come. This is how you build up the slow process of setting yourself up for passive income potential years to come. Many millionaire bloggers wake up in the morning to passive income from sleeping. They are making money from their blog or blogs while they're sleeping because they have Google AdSense and they have other advertisements relevant to the content of their blog on their blog from online advertisers from affiliate marketing. A 9-to-5 day job or third shift is not the only way to make money, or a part-time job. The traditional way of working is becoming obsolete even with a college degree. You want your life back as a past or current graffiti writer and you have a blot on your public character profile, you need to bookmark this video to your favorite internet browser of choice to come back and view it again for your blogging inspiration. When you change your mindset and take this blogging and side hustle business seriously, I'm not smiling, this is not a game. You can and will become a millionaire. You have to create lots of content. Content is what drives the internet. If you feed the search engines with consistent content, the search engines will reward you with hordes, not hundreds, hordes of free search engine traffic for years to come. But it's your choice to get in the consistent mindset of creating that quality graffiti-based blog and YouTube video content. There is a market online for almost any niche. Whether you were a big-time graffiti writer in New York or Philadelphia or California or wherever, or you were a small potato from the hood, this is your chance. I'm giving you a free side hustle blog marketing idea that can potentially make you an online millionaire a couple of years from now. A lot of people fail in this business because they're not willing to create the content. One, they're not willing to invest money in a domain name and web hosting package. Two, three, they're set in their ways. If you're set in your ways and you're unwilling to change the way you think, this video is not for you. Just turn me off. Just turn it off. Go back to your job or doing whatever you're doing. And stay where you are in life. This is a free idea for you. This is your way out. This is your way out of potential financial poverty. This is your way out of going job to job and getting wrongfully terminated. I'll talk about that in future videos. This is your way out paycheck to paycheck. This is your way out of getting out of that janitor job or that temporary job that's maybe paying $10 or $12.50 an hour. This is your way out of job insecurity. This is your way out of being bullied by employers that know you have a past record. This is your way out of turning something that you used to love to do from the past as an illegal profession and now transforming it into a legal profession, because you probably wasn't making money off of it back there. You were just doing it for the thrill and the fun of it because you just got a rush. This is your way out. My name's Sean. They used to call me Sha-Lo because Sean used to, well, I still do wear a lot of low, but I'm not a show off on camera, so I don't have on polo right now. But yeah, Sean used to rock a lot of low back in the day. Sha-Lo, straight out of Flatbush, Brooklyn. I have more videos coming. My channel is for the working class people. It is for people from all walks of life. I'm from the hood. I'm not from the projects. I'm from the hood in Flatbush, Brooklyn. So I'm somebody that people can relate to because I don't pull no wool over people's eyes for the camera. This is me. This is how I am. I'm half homeboy, half businessman. I wear my hats accordingly. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for watching. I will appreciate if you can please leave your comments, feedback, negative or positive. Just if you choose to leave a negative comment, please don't curse too much, because I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ with no shame, and I will delete your comment. Okay? Please don't, if you leave negative feedback, just don't curse. I will appreciate your negative feedback because maybe it might be something I can learn from. Okay? I'm just being real with you. You can hit like, you can hit dislike, you can subscribe to my channel. I actually encourage people that dislike my videos, subscribe. It's your boy, Sha-Lo. Alright, I want to give a shout out to people from my past. I want to give a shout out to C.O.D. from Philadelphia. I'm not going to say your real name. I know who you are. I'm glad to see that you're still around and you're doing well. So, enough respect to you, man. I want to give a shout out to people from back home in Flatbush Brooklyn. Also, I want to give Bloomberg Television a shout out and thank you for keeping me motivated with digital content inspiration. Thank you so much to Bloomberg Television. I have great respect for them. And also, I want to give a shout out to somebody from California that I went to Brandywine High School with. I'm not going to say your real name, but I'm going to just say, this is a made-up name. This is not a real name. Robbie Kwame Springs. I'm going to be discussing you in a YouTube video in the future. And what you think I did back in 2006, I didn't do it. But I'm going to be talking about it. So you better tune into this channel. Matter of fact, why don't you just go ahead and subscribe. You know who you are, Robbie. P.B.S. for life. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions further about graffiti-based side hustles or how to get started with affiliate marketing, blogging, all that good stuff, go ahead and leave your comments below. But before you leave, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Sean. This is Side Hustle Inspiration, where it's all about helping you to succeed in your side hustles. God bless, and thanks so much for watching. Peace.